Hello and welcome to KXII News Now. My name is Robin Key. It is September 8th, so let's go over your Texoma headlines. Now, Murray County Sheriff's Office needs the public's help to identify these 4 break-in suspects. Now, please take a good look at your screen. This security footage shows them breaking into the Old Grow near Chickasaw Train between Sulphur and Davis around 6:30 a.m. If you have any information, please contact the Murray County Sheriff's Office. Now, in Bryan County, an inmate was hit by a vehicle while trying to escape custody. OHP says Saturday around 5:30 in the evening, 22-year-old Andrero Calderon ran into traffic on Highway 69 near Calera and was hit by a vehicle driving north. Calderon was injured, but was not killed in the accident. Now we have new details on an accident in Sherman Saturday night when a motorcycle and a truck collided. Sherman police say the motorcycle rider was a 57-year-old man who had been transported to the hospital by air after the crash. He was seriously injured. The crash happened around 7 p.m. between Southeast Street and East Jones Street in Sherman. Now, Montague County brought residents together to talk about the future of a popular event. The Rednecks with a Paycheck event is hosted in St. Joe twice a year and brings people from all over for a time of music, camping, and, most importantly, trucking. But this event took a dangerous turn last year when a monster truck plowed into attendees. Montague County heard concerns and praises from residents before signing the permit, and the consensus was about the same for all: support for the event, but needing further regulations.
Abating that noise problem, how they're going to do that, shutting off lights at a certain time to maybe move the people along to other areas of the park, and just stepping up their patrol and letting us know what's going on.
The next Rednecks with Paychecks will take place on September 18th through the 21st. The Denison City Council has given the go-ahead for a new tenant at the Union Pacific Rail Yard along Highway 75. The business will keep materials to make concrete at the rail yard, moving them into sealed containers. Then the containers would be loaded into trucks going on to construction sites. City leaders say the sealed containers would stop dust from blowing into the air, a major point of contention with other cement and concrete projects in the area.
It's in theory, completely sealed transfer from the rail distribution to the batch plant, which is located somewhere outside of this permit.
Massey says that the loading site will likely boost the local economy by sourcing materials directly from Denison. Now, we had severe storms cause damage across several Texoma counties Friday night, including Grayson County. In Gunter, crews were out for several hours responding to countless trees and power lines down and some barns that had collapsed. Gunter Fire and Rescue crews were able to save a couple of horses from one barn that had collapsed, but another barn took a lot more work before they determined that the animals in the barn were hurt or killed. Their cleanup continues till this week. Then on Saturday, for the very first time, Sherman ISD opened the doors of its 3 new elementary schools to the public for a look inside. First on the list, Crutchfield Elementary. The 113,000 square foot school holds more than 700 students with new amenities like outdoor learning areas, collaborative spaces for each level, and a rooftop science spot. It replaces the old campus, which served the district since the 1950s. Up next, Fairview Elementary. The footprint stretches 116,000 square feet, featuring a massive outdoor courtyard, hands-on activity areas, and multiple playgrounds for all ages. The new building replaces the old school, which also served the district since the 1950s. Getting a lot of use out of these. Finally, Parker Elementary, spanning 110,000 square feet. The building comes complete with a large PE gym, an expansive art room, and grade-level spaces for classes to join together. Now, this building does not replace an older school, instead starting a new legacy in the booming Heritage Ranch portion of town.
They're designed to change with the times and as the times change. So those collaboration spaces, those opportunities, regardless of how technology changes, we'll have the space and the availability in these new buildings to adapt with it and change with it.
In the years to come, Sherman ISD will see another new elementary school and early education center open as well. Now, the city of Gainesville needs your help. Today, they are hosting a public workshop to review Project Gainesville 2040, the future vision for the growth and development. In the past two workshops, residents have shared their ideas and suggestions on how the city invests in infrastructure, revitalizes downtown, and expands parks and public spaces. Now, the project team will present what they've come up with. Those who attend will see the final drafts and can confirm if plans align with the community's input. The meeting is tonight from 6 to 8 at the Gainesville Civic Center. Now, the Carter County Courthouse was left with quite the workload after former District Judge Dennis Morris retired last Monday. Morris, who announced his retirement in May, left behind a court caseload that is being picked up by other judges from other counties and the two sitting judges at the courthouse. Associate District Judge Ryan Hancock and Special District Judge Carson Brooks are working to make sure court continues to run smoothly.
My office is doing everything we can to make sure that no cases and no defendants lose time in their case, that their cases still continue to proceed as normal.
This is only until the courthouse gets a new judge. The Judicial Nomination Commission announced 3 potential replacements last week: Honeycutt, Brooks, and local attorney Tyler Irks. Governor Kevin Stitt must select the next district judge within 60 days. Van Alstyne and Pottsboro are taking action after mosquitoes carrying West Nile virus were found in their cities. Van Alstyne sprayed last week, and Pottsboro is in the process of arranging a time. So far, no confirmed human West Nile cases in Grayson County have been reported, but of course the cities are being safe, even those just generally around. For example, the city of Whitesboro is spraying for mosquitoes this week, and of course, it is in response to the West Nile virus that is being found in the area. Now, for people in Whitesboro, it will start at 9 this evening, and it will also be tomorrow night. Now, again, there have been no human cases of West Nile reported, and governments are trying to keep it that way. Now, grieving parents who lost children at Camp Mystic during the flood tragedy in Central Texas are turning their losses into law. They joined Governor Greg Abbott Friday as he signed the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act. It is designed to improve safety at summer camps statewide by prohibiting cabins in flood zones, providing warning systems, requiring emergency training for staff, and strengthening communications, even when there is no power or cell service. 27 campers and counselors died in the July 4th flooding.
We know the anxious anticipation to see our child again after dropping her off at camp. Every child who goes to camp should come home to their families. No parent should ever have to outlive their child or endure this kind of loss.
A separate bill requires local officials to install outdoor warning sirens in flood-prone areas. State grants will be provided to assist with those efforts. Now, a man in Texas has kept a wedding anniversary tradition alive, even when it seemed impossible. 2 years ago, Army veteran and former Houston Chorus member Jerome Borges was diagnosed with a vocal cord atrophy, a condition where the vocal cords shrink and fail to touch. But he wasn't ready to give up. He found a good therapist and a good plan and dedicated doctors. So, on the 66th wedding anniversary for Jerome and his wife Agnes, the 91-year-old sang the same love song that he has been singing every year on their anniversary, Wind Beneath My Wings.
You were content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. Did you ever know that you're my hero and everything I'd like to be?
Very, very sweet. Now, moving on to your national news, Howard Stern played a prank on his radio listeners on Monday. Bravo host Andy Conan appeared behind a microphone at 7 a.m., saying that he was taking over Stern's Sirius XM channel. Conan said he was renaming it Andy 100. Several media outlets reported the incident, saying Stern had left Sirius XM. However, about 10 minutes later, Stern went back on the air, saying the whole thing with Conan was a hoax. This comes as Stern's future with Sirius XM is actually up in the air. Now, CVS Caremark is facing a class action lawsuit after cutting off coverage for a popular obesity drug. The lawsuit challenges CVS Caremark's move to drop coverage for Zepbound, Eli Lilly's blockbuster GLP-1 drug. The pharmacy benefit manager is accused of pointing patients to Wegovy. CVS insists that it's a strategy that it uses for competition to lower prices while maintaining clinically appropriate coverage, but they will fight it out in court. Now, the Trump administration is planning to drop proposed Biden-era rules on compensation for customers after disrupted flights. Now, the idea was to require air carriers to provide essential services and compensation to passengers after a canceled or delayed flight in the U.S. due to circumstances within the airline's control. A Transportation Department spokesperson said that some of the Biden administration's proposed rules went beyond what Congress required. Now, President Trump lost his appeal in a defamation case. The $83.3 million verdict against Trump for defaming E. Jean Carroll was upheld by a federal appeals court. According to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, the high-dollar decision was reasonable due to the evidence that was presented in court. Carroll took legal action against Trump, claiming that he was defaming her when he denied her sexual assault allegations against him. According to Trump, the magazine writer made up the story in order to help boost book sales. Now, jury selection begins today for the federal trial against the man accused of attempting to kill President Trump last year prior to the election. 59-year-old Ryan Ruth has chosen to represent himself in the trial. Prosecutors say Ruth perched a rifle through the fence of a golf club in West Palm Beach, creating a sniper's nest near where Trump was golfing. Ruth faces 5 charges, including attempted assassination of a major presidential candidate. Now, Pope Leo has canonized the first millennial saint. He is Carlos Acutis, an Italian young man who died of leukemia at age 15. Born in 1991, Acutis created a website to document miracles and spread his faith. It earned him the nickname God's Influencer. His story has attracted a wide attention from Catholic youth, and many were at the Vatican to witness the ceremony this Sunday. Pope Leo was also canonizing Girio Fastrada, who died in 1925 at age 24. He was also Italian and was known for helping others. He succumbed to polio 100 years ago. Now, when we come back, we are going to come back completely to Texoma land for our community corner. So do not go away. We have some good information for you about all parts of the Texoma community. We will be right back. Hello and welcome back to KXII 12 News Now. We are here for your Texoma Community Corner, where we're going over everything that you need to know to be a good neighbor and proud of your community here in Texoma. Now, Friday was National Food Bank Day, a reminder of the growing fight against hunger across the country. Locally, Denison Helping Hands serves 1,500 families, about every 25 individuals, and about 2,500 individuals every year. Their executive director says the face of hunger has changed over the last few years. Before, one would think of it as the homeless or the unemployed, but now it is the underemployed or less skilled with low-paying jobs.
I don't think very many people realize that Texas has the highest food insecurity rate in our country. It's been estimated that 1 in 6 Texans is food insecure, at risk for hunger. Millions of people in our state, and a lot of those individuals are children.
For more information about how you can visit or help, please visit this story on KXII.com. Now, the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation is giving out grants to several youth baseball and softball programs, including 3 Texoma teams. The Atoka Softball Parent Booster Club will be receiving a grant and will use the money to buy new equipment for the locker rooms and batting cages. Both the Silo Baseball and Softball Booster Clubs will be getting a grant too, which they will be building a new batting cage with. Then Friday, the Atoka County Chamber of Commerce celebrated the ribbon cutting for the new stage downtown and Atoka Music and Entertainment Coloration. They say that the stage represents a new chapter for live music, arts, and community, gathering right in the heart of Atoka, starting with a music festival on November 1st. Then, the Sherman Police Department is releasing new details on their Clear the Shelter campaign from last month. They say that 67 animals found new homes and 6 more have been fostered. Now, 2 of Kingston's best firefighters are getting promoted. On the left, Donnie Santo has been promoted from captain to assistant chief, and on the right, Victor Seeley is now a captain. The department says the 2 men have, quote, dedication, experience, and commitment, unquote, to the community, earning them these new positions. Now, that is all for this KXII 12 News Now. Make sure that you join us here again tomorrow, same time, same place. Tune into Channel 12 later this afternoon for the 4, 5, and 6 to stay updated with everything going on in Texoma land. Now, did you feel like you wanted a bit more information on any of our stories? Well, check out our website, KXII, for the deep dive. Also, make sure you're following our Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok. There you'll find exclusive content, constant updates, and our past stories. But until tomorrow, have a wonderful day, Texoma.